Welcome back to the Den of Tools. Howdy ho, guys and gals, it's Red, your friendly neighborhood tool bear, back again here in the Den of Tools. And today we're here to talk about the Cybertruck and why you might want to consider getting one. I know the bear is. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm going to pull the trigger on this one. And I know you're like, but Bear, you said it's an epic fail. How are you now convinced that it's the epic win, if you will? Well, first of all, full disclosure, I am a bit of a fan bear when it comes to hybrid/electric vehicles. I've been following the tech for some time. Pictured here, ignore the muskrat up front. But over on the left-hand side, you'll see my Sonata hybrid that I used to commute in. Now, granted, my everyday driver when not commuting was the red GMC Yukon XL next to it. So, yeah, a bit of a contradiction, if you will, but still. But I do want to say I'm not one of those fan bears that are going around saying, you know, the design, it's just kind of grown on me. It hasn't. It's not a mold or a fungus or anything. It's not grown on me, you know, and I'm not like one of the ones who are saying, you know, I found out that, you know, it's actually a design kind of copied from 1978, and it really kind of is. That's a picture from a gentleman's magazine in 1978, and it's, as you can see there, it has the fold-down ramp and everything. But the fact of the matter is, what we need to stop doing is we need to stop comparing it to trucks, okay? This whole, you know, kind of out to a Ford F-150 that's in two-wheel drive, that was stupid and ridiculous. And this whole thing we've been seeing with the pictures with it towing. I'm sorry, but, you know, the guys over at TFL Trucks and others have done multiple reviews about Teslas and towing. They tried to use this Tesla Model X to tow some stuff cross country and just gave up because the fact of the matter is the power usage triples when towing a large load with an electric vehicle. The energy density in a battery just really isn't there yet. Maybe when we come up with these solid state sodium, silicon, whatever batteries they're talking about doing, maybe then. But right now, with the technology that we have in the next couple years, I don't see it getting to the point where you can reasonably tow. Because even with that 500-mile range, if you're towing a large load, you're going to be pulling over to charge every 200 miles, if that. And that's, you just can't go cross country. And that's usually when you're towing large stuff, you're going cross country. You know, if you wanted to tow a trailer like this, they're going to have to make the whole front part of that thing a giant battery that plugs into the vehicle itself. And who knows, maybe they're going to do that. That would be interesting. But can you imagine how much that trailer would cost if 25% of it's battery? Anyway, as I said, it's not a Cybertruck. And maybe what should we call it is a Cyber SUV. Now, when you look at it like an SUV, a lot of other things start making sense that don't make sense as a truck. And maybe Elon should have just like said, you know what, enough of this. Let's just do it right. Right? Yeah. I did that in Microsoft Paint. I was pretty proud of myself. I was like, yeah, take that, Photoshop boys. And they were like, yeah, game on. And I was like, oh, well. Anyway, but I mean, think of it. If you think about it as an SUV and you just take the whole truck thing, just plop it right out of your head, throw it in the trash. It's not a truck. Don't look at it as a truck. Don't think about it as a truck. And as long as you stop thinking Cybertruck and just alternative to like traditional or current electric vehicles, then it starts making some sense. Okay, so we got the Cubettes here, the Cubs and the Cubettes here. And, you know, this is the wife's vehicle. It's a little, you know, Jeep Renegade. She loves it to death and she drives it all the time. But when we try to do family outings, it's a tad bit on the small side. Now, I got my pickup truck, but it's two-wheel drive. And we go up to Montana all the time. We'd like to go up more in the winter and stuff. And trying to pile everybody and the Labrador and whatnot into something like this, it's a bit much, all right? But when you look at a nice interior like this, easily seats 6, you've got the autopilot and everything else, and we could throw the Labrador in the back. You can even put our doggy bed back there and whatnot. You know, that actually starts to make some sense. And here's another thing. When I'm talking about like something for the wife or whatnot, I'm looking at this with that automatic, you know, roll-up tonneau cover. This makes some really good usable space around town for people who have a family where they're carrying a lot of stuff with them and whatnot. You know, and we always seem to, we got bags and toys and dogs and all. There's always seems to be something in the back of our trucks. They always get filled up. And having something like that where you can just press a button, it locks it right up. Now, is it going to be waterproof? We don't know. Dustproof? We don't know. But we can cross our fingers and hope. And, and they've already said that they're planning to do a black one. So you could do a vinyl wrap on these things. I'm kind of partial to the old Arctic white. Kind of reminds me of my brother there. And anyway, let's look at the price. So we've take the whole truck thing, throw it away. We're not looking at it like a truck. We're looking at it as a family SUV alternative. And if you look at a Model S, the base price on the long range, not even the performance, the long range is $80,000. Now, remember, Tesla does have this thing over here. We can click on it. It says include price reduction stuff. You got to understand, at the end of this year, all of Tesla's tax rebates go away. Once you sell over 200,000 cars, you lose that tax incentive from the federal government. Now, some states may still have it, but you're not going to get it from the feds. I don't live in a state that's going to pay you to drive an electric car. I also don't pay outrageous state taxes either, so there's that. So let's look at this. That base model Tesla Model S is almost $80,000. And the Model X? The Model X is $85,000. That's just for the long range. If you want the performance one, you're over $100,000. And now let's go look at the Cyber SUV here. Cyber SUV price, $69,900. You can tack on another $7,700 if you want it with self-drive and everything. That's an additional add-on on the other ones as well. They don't mention that there in the primary listing there. But look at this. If now you're getting something with a, 500-mile range. You're getting a bigger battery. You're getting a bigger vehicle. You're getting all this other performance and stuff. So why not, go with something like that? Now, here comes the kicker. Tax cuts in the Job Act. Yeah, that's right. If you buy a vehicle before the end of 2020, that's December 31st, 2020. So here's hoping that Elon, lands this thing in time or they extend the tax cuts. But if you buy it and you have a business, which I do, and you use it in your business, which I'm going to, you can write off up to 100% of the cost of that vehicle as a depreciated value the first year in your business, as long as it weighs over 6,000 pounds. And trust me, this thing's going to weigh over 6,000 pounds. That makes this a huge tax write-off. So, and if you don't itemize your taxes and such, and you don't run a small business or whatnot, I can see this may not work out for everyone. But if you do, oh yeah, this is going to be a hefty little chunk to take out of there. Now, maybe you're wanting to wait around for the Tesla RV to come about. I know there's been some jokes about some stuff like this coming out there. Oh, look, the new Cybertruck. So that bottom one's from I think it was a TV movie or something called Damnation Alley. And the top one was from a TV miniseries from back in the 70s called Arc 2. I don't know if any of you watched it. I loved it as a cub. I was all into that show. You had, the three main actors plus their chimpanzee going around trying to save the planet. It's like the year 2400 or something like that. And man, you could tell it's the 70s. Look at that Farrah Fawcett-esque hair. Woo! But anyway, back then as a young cub, I was all about this little vehicle they had that would pull out of the back of the Ark. And apparently, I just found out recently, this was a real vehicle. Okay, it was a modification of a real vehicle that itself was a kit car. But, you could get your paws on it. It was called the Brubaker box or something like that. It was a kit that you could take a Volkswagen Beetle, take the body off of that and put this on it. They even did a Baja version of it there. That looks pretty cool. Once I saw that, I was like, okay, I need to get my paws on one of these. But sadly, they're not made anymore. Although some people are still trying to bring it back. You'll see some concept vehicles based off of it that you'll see here and there around the web. I don't know. I've always been a big fan of that kind of cab forward-esque kind of design. So I like it. Maybe it's not your thing. Okay. End of tangent there. Point is that, the Cybertruck, it or something like it is going to be a real thing. They're taking orders on it. They're wanting to deliver on it. Regardless of what you think about Elon, I love people saying, oh, he can't do it. It ain't going to work. He's going to fail. They said that about electric car, and he brought an electric car to market. Then he said the same thing about the Model S, and he brought the Model S to market. And then he brought the Model 3 and the Model X, and he just keeps winning, guys. He's got a spaceship that will take off and land vertically, and he's got a solar power company that you said you couldn't do in the U.S. It wouldn't make sense. Even online currency, they said online currency wouldn't work, and he did that as well. This is a guy who people keep saying you're going to fail, and he keeps making it happen. And, I've heard long time ago, I heard a guy tell me that the key to success was being the guy who makes it happen when everyone else says that it can't. That's the real key to finding financial success, and this guy certainly tapped into it. So I'm not one to, when you have that many wins in the win column, I'm not one to put a bet up against you. I don't care how good the odds are. Anyway, there you go. Let me know what you think. Looks aside, yeah, it's ugly as sin. I get all that. But this for me is, what does the function do? Because I'm a function over form kind of guy pretty much every day of the week, and I can overlook a lot if it's going to get me what I need. In this case, I'm looking at a family truckster that I could put everything in, lock it up easily. It's got 4-wheel drive, stainless steel body. I can drive up to Montana and back down to Vegas. I can be in the heat. I can be in the cold. Yeah, I'll lose a little bit of range or whatever, but 500 miles, even if I lose half the range, I'm at what a current, electric vehicle EV is at. So, I don't know. It seems like a win for me. It's not a truck, though. It's a terrible truck, but it's not a half-bad electric vehicle. Anyway, that's all the bear has for you today. You all take care. God bless, and as always, shine on.